The WWE has never really tickled my fancy. It's never really been one of those big things in my life where I really wanted to just be a part of it. The acting, when I was younger, I looked at it and I thought, that looks really fake. Why would I watch that? But as I've gotten older, I've realized that the WWE has a bit of a comedic effect. Some of it's kind of just funny. It's so fake that it's kind of just silly. It'll make you chuckle a little bit. But that's just me. I completely understand why it's entertaining, and I don't judge anyone for liking the sport. It is an actual sport. It is demanding. The people do put in a lot of effort, which I completely respect. Now, one thing I don't respect is Mr. Vince McMahon. This is the story we're going to be going over today. It's going to be a short one. I'm not going to be over here yapping your ears off for longer than I have to. But Vance McMahon, okay, he has been found just doing abhorrent things. He is a vile scum piece of gum that you found on your shoe when you were 11 and tried to scrape off for an hour and a half. He was an abomination to society, and he should definitely be locked in prison. So I'm going to read you guys a passage real quick of to give you a little, dip your toe into the situation and give you a little insight on what exactly is going on right now, because it's absolutely deplorable. Things like this are just disgusting on every single plane of existence. In my opinion, I do not understand it. I will never understand it. People like Vance McMahon should never be I'm sorry, but I could never. If I was a WWE fan, every time I thought of WWE, I would think of Vance McMahon after learning about this story. I could not. There's no way I would be able to separate the art from the artist. Now, I will tell you that I did watch Charlie's video. I thought he did a really great job of breaking down the situation and going over exactly what's going on, going over why Vance McMahon is disgusting, what he did to this poor lady. I'm gonna talk about in a second here. Her name's Miss Grant. Miss Grant. She worked for Vance McMahon. I believe she was a part of the WWE in some capacity. Vance McMahon promised her promotions and promised her prosperity in her job if she did sexual work for him. And so here, I'm going to read you guys a little passage from the court documents. As one example of McMahon's extreme depravity, on May 9th, 2020, he defecated on Miss Grant during a threesome and then commanded her to continue pleasuring his friend with feces in her hair and running down her back while McMahon went to the bathroom to shower off. Upon his return from the bathroom, McMahon and his friend actively resumed the threesome, which lasted over an hour and a half, while Miss Grant remained covered in McMahon's filth. When McMahon's friend left, McMahon ordered her to stay and to continue to sexually gratify him. My God, the amount of the McMahons in that passage, it's like a tongue twister. Like, it's impossible to get through this passage without fucking up your speech. Excuse my French. Excuse my vernacular. Disgusting. Absolute. I will never understand fecal matter in any sort of sexual scenario. Like, unless you are just a humiliating piece of dog shit. Any sort of feces, any sort of that would be an immediate turn off, let alone a turn on in a situation like this. Poor Miss Grant. If this really did go on for an hour and a half, that must have been the most excruciating hour and a half of her entire life. That is going to be a memory in her brain stained. She's going to be on her deathbed one day crying about this situation. When I hear about stories like this, my brain automatically goes back to the memory of learning about Russell Williams, the dude that killed two women, and there were pictures found of him never pictures of him doing bad things with fecal matter, doing very abhorrent things with fecal matter. Disgusting. So clearly Vance McMahon is just a gross individual, and he should be in no capacity affiliated with the WWE, considering the reach that he is doing nothing right now but tarnishing their name. Has he been dropped? Yes, but everyone's kind of known, like, the lid has been popped off of this for quite a while. He stepped down once due to sexual assault allegations, and now he's stepping down again due to similar accusations. So everyone's kind of known that Vance McMahon is a gross individual with issues in this department specifically. So yeah, but this time I don't really think he's not going to be coming back. He's not going to be going back to the WWE by any means. The lid is fully off, whereas before it was a little bit loose. What he did was he made this woman sign an NDA saying that she would not talk about anything that happened during their sexual encounters, during any time they were together. She would not talk about it or anything. And it was supposed to be $3 million over the course of 3 years. However, Vance McMahon stopped paying her, which was probably one of the worst decisions he's ever made in his entire life, because now she's suing him, and the whole, like, his career, everything about this is ruined. So not only is he a depraved and disgusting individual, he's an idiot. He is stupid. He's a moron. This is just kind of the bare bones of the situation. This is just going over the very the bare minimum. But I'm sure more things are going to be coming out in the in the coming, as this story's coming out. I am sure that there are other women that have other stories that are just as bad as Mrs. Grant's. So, yeah, it's really unfortunate to see. I don't understand why people do stuff like this. It honestly makes me want to fucking hurl at the screen reading some of this stuff because it's just disgusting. It's just. Anyways, yeah, guys, that is this story. I'm gonna keep doing my research on it, see if anything new pops up, anything new comes out of the woodworks. But hope you guys enjoyed it. That's all I got. See ya.